One of the ministers remembered the story of the brave potter. So, from that, ministers who were called by the king remembered the story of the potter. He also remembered the brave potter. So, Your Majesty, the minister said, I know someone who can lead our army. So, he told the king that he knew someone who can lead their army. The king immediately sent a messenger to the potter's house. When the potter realized that he had been made general of the army, he became frightened. The king had ordered him to go to the palace the next day. How could he, a poor ignorant potter, become the general of the army? He had never carried a sword, nor had he ever ridden a horse. So, when the king sent a messenger to the potter's house that the potter, you have become the general of the army and you have to lead our army into the enemy's camp. So the potter was very much frightened. He was shivering because he was an ignorant person and he was not at all brave. He was a coward actually. But now he became the general of the army. He never carried a sword and he had never ridden a horse. Oh, I shall die because of that stupid donkey, groaned the potter to his wife. He has only brought us trouble. So now again he started cursing his donkey because of this donkey only now he had to lead the army. And the next day he went with his wife to the capital. The king was pleased to see him and ordered the potter to lead the army into battle the next day. The enemy were not far from the gates of the city. A splendid house had been prepared for the potter and his wife. The horse which would carry him into battle was ready in the stable. A splendid house had been prepared for the potter and his wife. The horse which would carry him into battle was ready in the stable. So, as per the order of the king, it was said the potter had to return to the capital. A splendid house was also being prepared for the potter and the wife. That night, the potter could not sleep. He was nervous and worried because he did not know how to ride a horse. So, actually, this person doesn't know how to ride a horse. He had never rode a horse. So, he couldn't sleep because he was nervous, tensed. He was much tensed. If I fall off, everybody will laugh at me, he thought. I will get up very early tomorrow and practice riding the horse. Oh, what he thought. So, early morning tomorrow, I'll get up and practice riding the horse. Because if he falls, everyone will laugh now. At dawn, the potter woke up his wife and they went to the stable. They saw the beautiful brown horse ready for its new master. So, the next morning, when they went to the stable, there was a beautiful brown horse ready for him. Oh, how tall he is, sighed the potter. I shall never be able to climb onto his back. So, what he thought, oh my god, how tall it is, how could I climb it? Put this bench beside him, said his wife, and use it as a step. So, what his wife advised, put this bench and you can use it as a step to get onto the horse. Even with the help of the bench, the potter had much difficulty climbing onto the horse back. When he was finally seated, he found that the saddle was very slippery. Please tie my feet to the stirrups, dear wife, said the potter. Otherwise, I shall certainly fall off. So, what? When he climbed with much difficulty, he climbed onto the horse, but the saddle, the seat area, that was very much slippery. So, what he said, please, my wife, dear wife, tie the stirrups to my feet so that he won't fall off. His wife found some rope and bound her husband's feet tightly to the stirrups. She then passed the rope underneath the horse and tied the two stirrups together. She also passed a length of rope around the potter's waist and tied him to the saddle. So his wife took some rope and bound her husband's feet tightly to the stirrups to not to fall down. So again she then passed the rope underneath the horse and tied the two stirrups together. Again she passed the length of rope around the potter's waist and tied to the saddle. Now, please tie my hands to his neck, said the potter. Meanwhile, the big brown horse was impatiently pawing his hoofs on the ground. When the potter's wife tried to pass another rope around its neck, the horse suddenly jumped free. It galloped out of the stable with the potter hanging like a sack of rice on its back. Only the ropes kept him from crashing to the ground. The potter held tightly to the horse's neck and prayed to all the gods to save his life. After galloping through the quiet streets, the horse crashed through the city gates and raced across the open fields. It leapt over fences and streams and began to head for the enemy's camp. When the potter realized where they were going, he tried harder than ever to stop the horse. So, children, when she was tying, the horse became impatient and suddenly it started pawing his hooves and started galloping. It jumped free. So it left the stable with the potter hanging on it like a sack of bag. So only the ropes, with the help of ropes, he was tied to the horse. The potter held tightly to the horse's neck and prayed to all the gods, "Oh God, please save me." He was praying. But the horse started galloping. It left the quiet streets, crashed across through the city gates, raced across the open fields, and it leapt over fences and streams and began to head for the enemy's camp. When the potter realized where they were going, he tried harder than ever to stop the horse. He pulled wildly on the reins, but it was no use. The horse galloped on. So, when the potter realized where the horse was going, he tried to stop it, but it was of no use and the horse galloped on. When they passed a young tree, the potter grabbed a branch, but the horse did not stop. Instead, the tree was pulled out of the ground. A sentry from the enemy camp saw the potter galloping towards the camp with a tree in one hand and his reins in the other. That must be the general who captured a tiger with his bare hands, he thought. Now he has uprooted a tree with only one hand. He is not an ordinary man. He is a giant. Run, run, save yourselves. The famous tiger general is coming at the head of a large army to attack us. He has the strength of a giant. He has uprooted a tree with one hand. So, children, when he was on the horse and the horse was galloping, so he the potter grabbed a branch, but the horse did not stop. So what happened? The horse was galloping and the potter was holding the branch. The tree was uprooted. A sentry from the enemy camp saw the potter galloping towards the camp. So the sentry saw that this person was carrying an uprooted tree in his hand. He was very much frightened. He thought, "Oh, this must be the general who captured a tiger." So they too have heard of the brave potter. So what they thought, okay, now the general is coming with a tree in his hand. He is not an ordinary man. He is a giant. So he shouted, "Run, run, all of you, save yourselves. The famous tiger general is coming at the head of a large army." The frightened soldiers fled. Their king was left by himself in his tent. Hurriedly, he wrote a letter begging for peace and apologizing for attacking the country. He left this letter in the tent. Then he jumped on his horse and followed his soldiers. When the potter's brown horse reached the deserted camp, it stopped. With shaking hands, the potter untied his feet and fell to the ground. When he looked around, he was surprised to find the camp empty. He looked in the king's tent and found the letter. The puzzled potter walked back to the city with the letter in his pocket. He went to his wife and gave her the letter. So, children, the frightened soldiers, all of them who saw the potter with an uprooted tree in his one hand, they were very much worried and they hurried out of the camp. So, they left their tents and left. So, when the king also saw all this, he was only left in his tent. So, what he did, he hurriedly wrote a letter that please excuse us for attacking you, and now I don't want the war. So when this person Potter reached the deserted camp, deserted means everyone was left there, no one was there. So he went into the tent and saw the letter. So he took the letter, kept in his pocket, and went on foot, means by walking he went to the city. He didn't understand, the puzzled Potter means he didn't understand why everyone is has left this, and also the king is also not there in the enemy camp. He went to his wife and gave the letter to her. Dear wife, he said, never in my life will I ride a horse again. Please take this letter to our king and tell him that the enemy has run away. I am going to bed. His wife ran towards the palace with the letter. When the king read the letter, he was full of praise for his new general. So, Potter gave the letter to his wife, na? So she ran taking the letter to the king, and she told that everyone had ran away and my husband has been very much tired, so he slept. He asked the potter's wife where her husband was. My husband is tired, Your Majesty. The servants have put him to bed, answered the wife respectfully. So the king inquired, where is the potter? You have only come taking the letters. So she said, he was very much tired. So the servant have put him to bed. Let him rest today. Tell him to come tomorrow to receive his reward, the king said. So the king said, okay, let him take rest today and ask him to come to me tomorrow to receive his reward. Why reward? Because he won the war. Okay. Next morning, the potter went to the king's palace. He left the brown horse in the stable and walked to the palace with his wife. The streets were filled with cheering crowds. They had all heard about his brave action. So the next morning, children, the potter was going to the king's palace. He left the brown horse in the stable and he walked because he didn't want to ride. He also didn't know riding, so he was walking with his wife. The streets were filled with cheering crowds. Everyone was cheering. Wow, what a brave potter. So they had all heard about his brave action. Look how humble he is, they said to each other. They were thinking, oh God, he's such a brave person, even though he's so humble, so simple. Any other man would ride to the palace on a horse, but he is walking like an ordinary man. He is truly a humble and brave man. So everyone thinking, if the other person was in that place, everyone would he would have gone on the horse only. But see how simple and meek this person is. He is a truly humble and brave person. The king rewarded the potter so well that he did not need to work again. The country was peaceful for the rest of his life, and the potter never rode a horse again. So the king rewarded the potters very much. Means he need not work. Happily he can sit and lead his life. So that much heavily the king rewarded the potter, and the country was also peaceful for the rest of his life. And the potter never rode a horse again. Okay, children, I hope you all have enjoyed this story. Thank you.